YouTube, y'all, we got a long video. But listen. Hey, if you want to spend an hour with me, come on. If you don't, hey, I ain't gonna lie, the exit right there. But I'm gonna miss you though. I'm gonna miss you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. But let's go ahead and get into a video. Welcome new people, new subscribers. We coming with rich man versus poor man. I don't know what this is like subject I deal with, but let's get to it.
To research credit and learn how to build it properly, it's easy to get money. And the cool thing about credit is, if you invest and you fuck up, you could just let it go to collections and speed it all up anyway.
Yeah, there's someone
that nigga's poor. No. I'm like, hold on. Like, wait. Look, I'm 20. Yeah, I forgot my age for a second. I'm 22. Like, I got credit when I was 18 years old. Like, that was one of the biggest things to me when I turned 18. I was telling my mom when I was 17. I'm like, Mom, on my birthday, I'm getting credit. That's my birthday gift to me. Like, I wanted credit. That now my credit is I'm good, nigga. Don't worry about me. So I'm like, but maybe I don't know. Like, you feel me? Like, there's different schemes and different things you can learn on different levels. So maybe he talking that rich talk and I'm at this level, so it's kind of go over my head.
That suffers at the end of that system. So.
I was making money and I was paying my bill every single month. So I wasn't just buying like Beats by Dre.
But where did it go wrong? Because, I mean, with respect, you're on the other side now.
I like this. This is going to be hard. This is going to be a good video, y'all.
Step forward if you've made less than 1K in 2024.
That's possible?
Less than 10K in 2024.
Dang.
Less than 40K in 2024. Less than 60K in 2024. Less than 300K in 2024. Less than 600K in 2024.
That bag, nigga, that bag. That's different.
Less than 5 million in 2024. Less than 9 million in 2024.
Bro, I just want y'all to peep how rich people be dressed. They be dressed they be so calm with it. Like, they be so calm, but then when you really it don't really be calm. Cause you be like, man, that's just a plain jacket. But when you really look up, that jacket cost 40 bands. So I be like, 400, it'd be crazy.
We're clapping for the rich guy?
Rich people should be taxed more.
I remember back when, America was first starting and taxes were looked at as a privilege. Like, it was something that people looked forward to. People, use it as a badge of honor that they had made it to a point where they could use their success to benefit the rest of society. It was something that they used as like a stamp of, I've made it, I've done my part, I've become so successful that now I can give back at such an extraordinary level. Now, this is also dependent on taxes being used, in the correct way to actually benefit society and not, go to corrupt politicians. But overall, especially as someone who's considered upper middle class, rich, someone who's considered wealthy, I have no problem and think that I should be taxed higher. I purposely don't take advantage of tax loopholes that I could, even though it'd be very easy to, because I would rather that money instead of it,
Nigga, you crazy. Nigga, boy, you. Nigga, boy, my accountant, boy, listen, make sure we get every loophole. Nigga, I'm giving away free money to them. Hell yeah. Nigga, what? I get what he's saying. Don't get me wrong. Hey, I don't care, bro. I feel like, bro, if you rich, bro, and you took the steps to really earn your money, hey, my nigga, pat on the back. Hey, take your money. But listen. No. Now, if you getting stupid money, I'm talking about billions, Elon Musk type money, yeah. Give me that. Give me that. But no, if you in the millions, lower millions, you feel me? You cool, bro. You did your part, bro.
being saved and going directly to myself. I'd rather go to fund school systems and other institutions that can't get funding other ways.
I mean, you can still help with that though. You don't gotta. I mean, I agree with that, but you can still fund that, man. Like, but I get what he's saying though.
Government is, captured by special interest lobby groups that lobby on behalf of their constituents, corporations, and they write the tax code. And the tax code is written in a way that benefits corporations and it disadvantages working class people. And the very fact that you can tax an income, for instance, and not tax what they call unrealized gains is a great injustice in our society.
But then you can take a loan against it and then profit from the loan.
You can buy Twitter off of your, with a leveraged buyout by using your unrealized gains as collateral. But when it comes time to tax those unrealized gains, oh, sorry, they're unrealized. You don't have it. It's not actually materially a part of it.
So don't know that I'm on board with the taxing unrealized gains, but the big thing that had me walking out here is you constantly see that like billionaires, millionaires, etc., they pay a lower marginal tax rate than like teachers and stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
And that is like the biggest thing to me that like never quite made sense. Like if we're all kind of in this system together, why are we not at least all paying the same percentage of our?
Because we're not in this system together. It's two tiered. There's a separate rules for the rich as there are for the poor, and they're the rich play by a different game.
True. We're all in a different game, bro.
That's okay.
It's like a different language. Like, when I was 17, bro, like I had this big realization. It was crazy. Like the world really just like smacked me in my face, and I started realizing, like, everything is this levels to everything. No matter what you are, who you are, that you could get punishment for this. Like, you're never bigger than the program, ever. I don't care who you is. You're never. Everybody is a somewhat puppeteer or being controlled in some type of way. And when I realized that, I was like, what the? And that just sent me down this rabbit hole of like learning. At the time, my main goal was to learn money. So I'm like, okay, and credit money. I'm like, okay, so if I did you know some countries don't even have credit? Like when I figured that out, I'm like, so why the fuck do we have it? So then I went down that rabbit hole, and then bruh, the amount of stuff you will find out about how America was built, how it was built not in the favor of colored people, and as a colored man, it's like it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy.
The reason why I didn't step forward, which was, should rich people pay more taxes?
Okay.
If I could know with certainty that my taxes, paying more of them, would go to benefit schools or homeless veterans or, struggling single moms or, whatever the causes are, I'd be glad to.
Okay.
My concern is that once that money's gone, it can go off to fund war crimes in other countries and bomb villages to take their oil and all this other bullshit. And when I keep more of my money, like there's a school maybe like 12 minutes from my house where I paid all the lunch debt for that school,
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you really got the funds to, and like you really want to like, yo, I got the funds to go help this school. I want to help these veterans. I want to help this charity. I want to help. Like, you could put your money towards that. Like, there's other ways, like, rather than getting taxed for it. That's what I'm saying. Like, me, I'd rather keep my money and actually go out and do the just deeds, do good deeds to help other people. That's what I'm saying.
And
that's smart.
That was fine for me to do, but had I not had that money to pay that lunch debt because it went to the government,
exactly.
I don't know if that would go to that school or if it's going to go bomb some country, right? So that is my sort of this is the implication where I don't trust the U.S. government to use the money in the same benevolent way that I might if I had more of it to then do the programs and the passions that I have to help people.
And the reason that we don't trust the U.S. government, because I don't trust it either, is because of who controls the government. And who controls the government are capitalists. So it goes back to capitalism. It would be great for our money to be used to fund schools and all these programs, wonderful. Yeah. But they're not. You're right. They're going to the weapons industry.
Bro, we talking that talk. This is my type of video. We talk. Boy, we better get a notepad or something. I got some note cards right here, boy. And we're really having some good discussions. And once we start talking about that capitalism, hey, I'm all ears. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I think another thing, like a misconception a lot of people have is like the rich don't pay taxes at all. If you look at corporate like payroll tax, like that's like the taxes that we pay. By far in America, corporations pay the most taxes in payroll. That is like what, like for example, but it is coming from other people's checks. But we factor that into their salary, right? We know that we're gonna have to pay taxes on that. That's one thing to think about. I do think that the system is set up for the rich to just make way more money, especially with the unrealized gains, like leveraging that.
We like to say, like, we want everyone to pay the same percent, same stuff like that. But it's not like rich people, massive business owners use less government services. They are using these roads way more. They are using all these things so much more than the average person who just needs to drive to work. If you need 1 million trucks going places, like, it wouldn't be unfair for these people to pay more because they use more, because they're bigger entities.
I think sometimes people are mad and they're angry about wealth inequality, and they think that like taxing people will solve wealth inequality, and like I think it might solve it on like a numbers basis, but I just don't know that that's the right thing.
Okay, so the money that the government doesn't receive by taxing billionaires and multinational corporations, they have to come up with the money still. So what do? They borrow it. They borrow it from corporations when they could have just taxed them. And and when you borrow from billionaires and these large corporations, you then have to pay them interest. The government has to pay all this interest on the money that they should have just taxed them in the first place. So that's why you have 30 trillion. I mean, the national debt is a scam in and of itself. The fact that people bring that up as a talking point is ludicrous.
Hey, before we go any further, we want to take a moment to say thanks so much to Straight Arrow News for powering the fact checks in this video.
Hey, shout out to you. Shout out to this app. I ain't gonna lie, I might use Straight Arrow News in the future, no lie.
Please step forward.
Men should be the breadwinner of the family. Damn, nobody moved, nigga. Oh, I was finna say.
I grew up in a pretty traditional Muslim household, and it's like very common for like the man to kind of be the breadwinner, and like that's the tradition I grew up. So
okay, I'm gonna also ask y'all when they answer these questions. I'm gonna ask y'all the same question. Do y'all believe men should be the breadwinner of the family? Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that.
I have very strong beliefs in that. I do think that there are abstractions, like there are times where women are the breadwinners and vice versa.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it should, like for me, like the way that I've grown up, the way that my family's grown up for many years, many generations, it's been a tradition that like the man is very responsible for taking care of his family and the financials of kind of this unit. And I don't plan on changing that, so it's something I just believe in. But that doesn't mean there's room for abstractions. People can switch it up. But yeah, that's what I believe.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
I like this. Talk to me. Okay, I think I'm gonna give my point. Men should be the breadwinner of the family. What do I believe on that? That's actually very interesting. I actually never thought about this. Let me see. From what I know of what I've been told, what I've heard on social media, what I've seen commonly, men tend to be the breadwinner in the family. Have I seen that in my personal life? No. Have I seen that in other people's lives? Not a lot. Some, yes, but it depends on your goals. Like my whole thing too, my whole thing in life, bro, don't do it for money. Like whatever you're doing, like regardless how much money you make, right? You really can't take it with you. Like I feel like I fluctuate like between if y'all really like, we here to have a deep talk. So I'm really finna open myself and I'm finna have this deep conversation with y'all. My ideas of money have flipped since going to therapy. Like I feel like I was so driven by money, right? I was really driven by money, and now like I don't even know if I even want a legacy no more, because like it gets, what is the point of this? Like everything that we are living and saying and doing and da 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 da, like you feel me? Like life is gonna throw bunch of things at your way, right? And I feel like if I'm just chasing money, you'll leave your family. Like, we see it multiple times in the news, just everywhere on like social media. People have shicey their friends, their wives, their brothers, like just over the idea of money. And money, we give money over here in the U.S. Money is just paper, dog. Like, it's really just like, oh, this is what this is, and we just accept it. And I think it's just crazy. So I think it just depends on the goals of the people. If the man is happy being, I don't know what like, I don't know what's an artist, and he makes a couple thousand, maybe millions, and then his wife wants to be the CEO boss, and that's really her goal, which is very masculine in a sense, but you can still be masculine, feminine, bro. It's crazy, bro. I'm trying to really. I'm an overthinker, so be patient with me. I be like, my brain just like everywhere. But yeah.
The reason why I disagreed is because I think you should just do whatever works for your relationship.
That's what I'm saying.
In my relationship personally, yes, I'm the one who does the providing and the protecting, and that works great for us.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it works well for everybody else.
Exactly.
And, I mean, if you're dating a boss lady who works in tech and she makes like $500,000 a year, like, you don't need to stretch yourself out if you're like, you know, you work in a factory making $36K.
So I agree with you 100%. I think you should do whatever works best for y'all relationship.
Thank
but
you.
I notice now in modern dating, a lot of women have this expectation on, oh, the man should be doing this, and that. And I don't necessarily like that, because these expectations put you in a weird position, especially if you feel like you're not really receiving much in return.
And that's the thing, though. Like, I don't care what the modern woman, like, ideal is. Like, if that's not me, okay, that's cool. Like, I'm not for you then. Now, like, we get to choose the woman we want, right? Same thing with men, women. That's why when you see things on social media, why are you taking it personal? Why do you feel the need to comment? Like, me personally, when somebody tell me or tell the internet they like expectations or whatever of this person, this gender, whatever, it doesn't really affect me much, because I'm not dating you. So like, if you want a multi-million-dollar man or billionaire man and I'm not that, then okay, cool. And if you want this man to do this, do that, and you not doing that, you can either rise to the occasion, you can make that push you can make that lower you. It's all in here. Like, you get to choose what it do for you. If it don't do nothing for you, okay, cool. Like, push it to the side. Like, I don't care. Like, my thing is, do what you want to do. If you want to be a fashion designer, like, come on, bro. Let's really talk that shit. Bro, this is your life. You got one. You got one life. Make it yours. Make it yours. A lot of people are living for someone. They're not even living for themselves. Like, they mom told them, go be a doctor. Go here. Your girlfriend wants you to do this. Wants you to go here. Live here. Do that. Live for you, my nigga. Live for you. When you gonna start living for yourself? You know what? Listen, the reason why you probably not, I don't know you. Like, I could get to know you, but right now I don't know you. Whoever is watching this, bro, listen, look me dead in my eyes. Bro, the reason why you probably don't know what you want to do is because from 1 year old, or when you first was born, to the age of 18 or how old you are, you have been told who you are, what to do, where to go. Bro, I want you to pick up your controller, because that's how I look at life as a game. Pick up your controller, and I know you see everybody walking this way. Bro, if everybody's going straight, you could go backwards. You go to the left. It's in your hands. It's a free world, bro. It's an open world. It's a game. You don't have to stay in California. You don't have to stay in Baltimore. You don't have to stay in Atlanta. You don't have to stay in New York. You don't have to stay in Alabama. Wherever you are, you can do whatever you want to do. You can, bro. If you don't want to do nothing today, you don't have to. Listen, life is crazy. I promise you. You can meet whoever, you can talk to whoever, you can get rich today, you can get poor today. Anything can happen. Literally anything can happen. I know your life might be boring, your life might be exciting. It's yours. You have to stick. If you want to go to School of Arts, nigga, go. You have that in you for a reason. It's not in you for no reason. Somebody has to tell you this. If you're not listening, if this is not getting you up, bro, I don't know what will. You don't want it enough. It's scary, yes. But that's life. Life is scary. If you really think about it, we currently right now, we are the only ones alive in this whole galaxy shit. Like, we are the only fucking boat floating. Bro, you can do what you want to do. Bro, we have a maximum of 100 years and possibly more because we live in longer. But listen, it's yours. It's yours. Do what you want to do. Eat good, laugh, travel. Like, just do. Like, just say fuck it. Like, if you're young, if you're old, fuck it. It's like, for real. Like, I don't get it. Live it, bro. Live it. Live it. For real.
In my current relationship, I was so upfront with my partner. I said, I'm going to be a teacher. I'm not going to be able to be the sole provider. I want to be a high school teacher, maybe a college teacher. That's my passion. That's what I want to do.
Nigga, you make less than 10K? How you make it less than 10K? What?
That's how I want to give back to the world. And she said, I love that about you. That's one of my favorite things about you. And we're going to make that work. I'm going to work. She's going to work. And we got to get through it somehow. It's really hard to survive in this capitalist society right now with having just one provider. I mean, I think everyone on this side of the room probably can if you're the rich man, but a lot of us, we need two incomes. It's just not possible for the man to be the sole provider, breadwinner.
The reason that I put the expectation on myself is because, like, I also expect other expectations of my wife, right? Like, I'm not going to marry a woman that's not going to be able to take care of my children, right? Like, I think that's one expectation that I have. And once again, this is not an arbitrary thing where it's like, it has to be this way or that way. It's just what I believe.
I think we all have...
And that's what I'm saying. It go, like, if they gonna have expectations, you better have like you gotta have the same energy, man. And that, see, I love this nigga right here. I like that nigga. Like, is it Arab? I don't want to say his name right.
Our expectations in relationships, and as long as we communicate those with a partner and are super upfront with that, there's no problem.
I only disagree with the characterization of the premise that men should be the breadwinner, as if we should be conforming to traditional gender roles in this society.
I think there's a term that I learned maybe last year is financial compatibility, and I think that's one thing that is really important in a relationship, because if you're making a lot of money and your partner isn't really, and because I personally think that a relationship, both people should work, both people should be just contributing.
Okay.
But if someone's making a lot more than the other one, then it will always feel just incompatible, because it'll always cause the other person to feel, oh, like I'm paying more, I'm contributing more, I'm working more.
I was gonna say, I think there's a bit of nuance there. I'm in a polyamorous relationship where I make significantly more than my partners. One of them is an RBT, so they work, minimum wage, working for schools, working grueling hours with kids with disabilities, and so it's a very hard life for them. And we've been together for over 3 years now, and there's never been a sense of me putting myself and my income above them, or using that as hey, I'm going to lead the household and I'm going to make the decisions on my own because I'm the primary one bringing in the significant,
Yeah, I like this nigga. I like this nigga. Like him and the richest nigga, I could tell we just like, I fuck this nigga a lot. This nigga, he know what he talking about.
Revenue into the household. It definitely comes down to the relationship itself, because they knew me when I was working for minimum wage jobs. And so because of that, just because I'm in a place now, tomorrow I could have nothing. I know that the love would still be there and a relationship would still be strong.
Bro, listen. It's so important to come up with the people that like knew you before all the money, bro. Because listen, bro, I can have it today and lose it tomorrow, baby. Listen, anything can happen, genuinely. That's why when you get money, be humble. If you got money, be humble. I promise you. If you really never really like got it out the mud, or like, I hate that term, but like if you really don't know how it feel to struggle, bro, you really don't understand, dog. Like how it is when you get even a little bit up. Like if you've been down, I'm talking about down. Like, if you've been down and you get a little bit or just like a taste of just greatness, man, it changed your life. I swear to God, bro. I'm so grateful, bro, for any and everything, bro. Genuinely, just because I can talk to people. I love talking to people. I love asking people, what you want to do in your life? What happened? Like, if I'm talking to a homeless person, I always ask them, what happened? Like, what's going on? Hey, what's this? What's that? Da-da-da-da. And just to really get a grasp of things, bro. There's so many people who have dreams, bro. that they won't get to fulfill. There's so many people that have given up on themselves. There's so many people that love life. They just love the air they breathe. They love them. I want you to be one of them people, bro. Love yourself, bro. Put that over everything. And I really feel like this dude right here, he's in a balance, bro. Like, there's a balance between him having money, but not overly being like, yo, I run things because I make the money. Nah, it's not supposed to be like that. Unless you want, like, and listen, that to me is not supposed to be like that. However you run your household is how you run your household. Listen, I ain't got no say so in that. But my thing is, make sure be balanced, bro. Go to therapy. Do what you need to do. Like, don't ever hold something over somebody's head, bro.
So while there can be definitely situations where an income, inequality would impact a relationship,
for sure,
I think it speaks more so to the depth and the strength of the relationship itself, rather than the inequality being the main driver for any sort of issues in that relationship.
Have you never felt that it's just kind of unfair that you're putting so much in and the other, like, I'm just generally...
Yeah, no, not at all. Because I've been in relationships where I was the one who was working at Chick-fil-A making like $9.25 an hour, and I was like, my girlfriend had like a $60,000 job in DC, and I was like, oh my God, like, thank you so much for like taking me out to dinner or something. And so that mentality of, that reciprocity.
And listen, that's what I be saying. That's what I be saying. That's what I be trying to tell y'all, bro. Y'all be expecting niggas at 20, 25, 30 to just have it all. Bro, listen. Shit take time. And listen, this is not everybody's story. Some people want to go crazy. Some people gonna be like this. Some people gonna go crazier. But make sure, like, bro, if they can't hold you down, bro, like, Shawty saw potential in bro. She said, you know what? This where you at right now. This ain't your final destination. This ain't your final destination. You might be here right now, but what you telling me what you want to do, and you showing me action, you gonna be there. And I'm gonna support you the whole way. That's what we need, bro. That's what we need. Man, shout out to that woman right there. The women, because shout out to the woman who had his back and that's loving on that man. I like that. And shout out, see, I'm always shout out good women. I'm always shout out good men. Shout out to all y'all, bro.
Of like, if I'm going to be there for you emotionally, you're helping me with my finances. We're in this together as a
partnership.
That's what's really carried those relationships through. And I've never, I know that everything could disappear tomorrow.
Exactly.
So there's no feeling of, well, I'm doing all this. Why are you not putting in as much effort?
Exactly.
Like, they're working super hard.
Exactly.
And so just because they didn't have the same connections or opportunities that I had means nothing to the fact that they're like worth less or something to me.
To piggyback off that too, for me in my relationships, I've always made more, and it didn't really tend to bother me. I think people are driven by passion, and not all careers pay the same. But if the person I'm with is really passionate about what they're doing, I admire that.
That speaks a lot to me, because ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be like so rich and successful to where like my wife didn't have to work if she didn't want to. My kids could do whatever the hell they wanted to do. And so I kind of did that with my ex when I was thriving. Like, we didn't have kids. Like, I got an episode for that, if you believe. You know what I mean, right? But not, we didn't have kids, but it was just the fact that my ex didn't have to work, and I helped put her in that position. So that made me feel good. I think a lot of people in relationships, there's an ego thing with it. So like, if the man ain't making enough money, he feels less than a man, and then he treats his girl a different way, and then that creates problems. Or his girl don't respect him or treats him a different way, and then that creates problems. I think as long as you're doing what works for your relationship, like old boy said right here, right? I think that's what matters most.
Exactly.
It's also like an antiquated approach, right? Like, what is the term, trad wife or something?
Traditional.
Yeah, like.
Well, traditional.
Yeah.
Which I don't even care for. Like, I don't, like, bro, like, in all I've been in 5 different committed relationships, but my whole thing is, I don't expect my girl to cook for me. I don't expect her to clean for me. I don't expect you to do nothing for me except be yourself. And as long as, like, we good, we good.
No, I think what you're touching on is that, and what you've touched on as well, is there's all these different ways that relationships can work. And I think they can work in every way. I want a different relationship than what you want, but both can absolutely work. And there are pitfalls for both, too. And you just have to avoid those pitfalls, of course, yeah.
You know, I'm married, I have 2 kids, and I would say have more of a traditional relationship. And I love it, and it's wonderful. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. But I know that what works for me doesn't necessarily work for everybody in this room.
I don't know about you guys too, but like, so in relationships I've been in, I have made more than my partner, but if they did make more than me, I would be stoked. Yeah, that's I would love to say too. Right, like, who would get mad about that?
And then that's what I be seeing on internet too. Like, and this might be absolute truth. Like, I'm not in those women's situation, but a lot of women be like, men are so like they feel some type of way when a woman makes more. I guarantee, if that nigga is a real man, it won't even cross the nigga mind twice. Like, I'd be like if that happened to me, okay, okay, like no matter, like if I'm genuinely doing everything that I love, I'm like, if I'm genuinely doing the things that I love, and you earn more than me, and you enjoy what you doing, and you love it, cool. Like that don't bother me, no, not at all. Shit, I'm shrugging that shit off. Like, cause what is that? What is, like? Am I supposed to be like, oh my god, no? Like I don't know. Like, what do y'all want to do? Like, I feel like, especially like if you're stupid rich, or even if you're not stupid rich, if you like he said, a teacher, your girl is in the tech company, or she's this head nurse, or she's a surgeon, and she's thriving in her career. Why should that bother you? Like, you doing what you love, she doing what she love, and if that works for y'all, like, what? That's how I know there's something deeper in your childhood, or something deeper within you, or something that you've seen, something that you heard, something that happened to you, because it don't make sense, like, at all. But if that's something that you want, let it be that. But
I will put on the maid dress and I will mop the floor.
Maybe you was raised different.
House husband. It is walking home with like a glass of wine. I'll be sitting there like, can I get you anything, honey? Like, would you like me to take your shoes off, give you a little massage, whatever you need.
I kind of love spoiling my wife and my kids. I mean,
me too.
Partly because I grew up. I mean, my mom was making $10 an hour raising 3 kids. So the fact that now I'm in a position where I can, spoil the people that I'm with. I kind of love doing that.
I know I'm not going to be able to spoil her with like 1 million diamond rings and stuff like that, but I can spoil her in other ways. I can make dinner for us. I can plan things for us.
There's about.
That's so fucking tough. That's so tough. I promise you, I think it's good to be. I think it's good to be like bottom to come up. I think it's so important, because now that he has that mentality, and like. He don't even, his thing is, he's not even aspiring to get rich. I feel like a lot of people think that's a lot of people's mentality, is to chase a dollar sign or chase riches. A lot of people don't want that. A lot of people don't want the fame. A lot of people don't want riches. But if you can have something that works for you and is good for your like mental state, and you're not constantly stressed out, you're not constantly losing your brain, bro, live life and smile, bro. Travel. Do whatever you want to do. Because it's your life. Like, you don't have to take my advice, you don't have to take their advice. Because guess what? It's in your hands.
So someone could be supporting financially, but someone else is supporting emotionally. And I think as long as you're aware of that balance, that could be like a secret to a healthy relationship. But if that balance kind of fades out in the dark, then that's when,
Yeah. In my tradition, we have a very strong belief that, like, marriage is like a fortress. It's like, as you're one pillar of your wife is another. And in America, we have this conception of like love marriages. You marry people you love. In Islam, we have a much more like deeper sense of that, in the sense of like, it's not just love, it's family ties. Like, your family and their family are now one unit.
Families are getting married.
And so you have like multiple pillars, and then you have like,
if
that. You're religious, right, you have like this ethical and moral compass that aligns with the other, and that's another compass. And then like, can you benefit each other in knowledge as well? So there's many other pillars. So if one breaks, there's another to stand on.
Becoming rich is easier now than it ever has been.
Yeah, I believe that.
I grew up pretty much at the poverty line, so the opportunities that my mom had were so limited to compare to what the opportunities that I have today.
Okay.
And, I was able to, frankly, make millions and millions of dollars in my 20s.
Damn.
Because of all the opportunities that we have here in the West and in in America, and especially in modern times, where if you just zoom out, a lot of those opportunities weren't available. Even just like 50 years ago, it would be different.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I think not only is there opportunity, but the internet has just enabled us to learn anything we want.
I think the fact that you can just be making money off of your laptop just anywhere in the world is revolutionary.
I think there's been a bit of an explosion.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Generally, if I had to answer this, I would say yes. If you want to get rich, generally, it's gonna take effort. But, and what is rich? Like, I feel like, what is rich? Like, because when people say rich, what it is different to everybody. It might be a certain amount. It might be a lifestyle. What is rich to you? Like, Cause rich can just be like, yo, my bills paid and I got extra money to do whatever I want. Rich can be, oh, I own this car. Or rich can be, I have this business and it runs by itself. I can do this, do that, travel, What is rich? Because, but I do think it's easier now because we, like he said, we have so many opportunities and so many different. We have the internet, my nigga. We have the internet. Like a couple years ago, bro, niggas didn't have that. Like, it was hard. Yeah, I feel like it's way easier. I don't even feel like I explained that. And y'all let me know if y'all don't think so. Then we can have that discussion down in the comments.
Of non-ethical ways to make money, I feel like that's been a big thing in recent times. Making money off the backs of others has become easier than it ever has been. I think like you can just start a podcast and just like on women the whole time, and you'll just like blow up and go crazy. I think like in late stage capitalism,
true,
there are so many exploits and things you can do, and I'm not saying you guys have done that specifically. I don't know your stories, but like you can be a landlord and just start charging exorbitant amounts of rent. That's why it's so unaffordable to live, especially here in California. Like there are so many evil ways that people can make money that I think it's easier now than it ever has been if you have sort of sketching.
Is a landlord always an evil way to make money to you?
Honestly, not always, but I would love to see society move away from this, from housing being a form of investment.
So I am a real estate developer, and I just bought a piece of land to build a house. The piece of land just for the dirt, $735,000. Just the permitting, just like literally the fee that I had to pay to get the right to build on that property that I own, $110,000. It's challenging to offer affordable housing when you're already $800,000 deep and you haven't even put shovel to dirt.
Hey, boy, we talking that talk. Oh my God, boy, we really, y'all. If y'all ever want to know some game, this the video. They give me game, bro. They really give me game.
I don't put as much blame on the individual as I do on the systems. I really wish.
I would love to back you up on that. So I actually have a pretty strong thesis on this. So like I bought property and stuff before, and I've realized like the system just favors the rich, and the reason for that is because of interest. Like from this, once again, I tie this back to religion often, but like in Islam, it's like you're not allowed to mess with interest. And the reason for that is because it favors the rich in a way where it pulls away from economic gain from society. And it's like, hey, because I have $100,000, I can pull $1 million of leverage. Well, if you only have 10,000, you can only pull 100,000. And now what's happening today is like these companies like BlackRock and these big institutional holdings, because they already have trillions of dollars, can leverage trillions of more to buy more houses, rising the prices, rising the interest rates for everyone, and you guys suffer the most.
And it incentivizes the most practices.
Yes.
Like the more you can charge, the higher interest rates you can have, the more you can do, the more you can exploit, the more you can steal,
the more money you have,
the more you get.
The more money you'll make, and eventually you become the bank. That's what rich people become, and I really hope that I never kind of go down that path. So it's something that, even as us, like I think when you make money, like you'll see a lot of your friends kind of like you can make a lot more money if you make money. And like you have to really control yourself. That's why I also believe that making a lot of money is actually a curse in a way too. Like there are pros, yes, you can have a lot of nice things, but you also have a lot more options. A lot more options to do bad things, and they might not be clearly bad things, like taking a loan on something bigger, or like they're not inherently bad, but it's like they can hurt someone on the back end, and I just don't believe in that.
I don't necessarily see
that man, I don't know how to say your name, so I'm not gonna say it just because I don't want to disrespect you. But that's a good man. That's a W man right there. Like, I feel like a lot of people when they get rich, like they lose. Well, some people lose that moral compass, and he still seems to have his, and I hope he keeps it, because if like, of course, if you like, well, okay, I could get this is $10 million deal, but I'm gonna F this person up. A lot of people be like, nigga, fuck, that's my money. And that's real. I like what he said right there. That was hard.
Interest is evil. I mean, there's a cost to debt, right? There's like a time value on money, as we learned. But I do think, to your point, I think that's where a government's duty is to step in and kind of put those guardrails.
Yeah.
Like I it's hard not to sometimes, but I do my best not to ever put the blame on the individual, because any individual is not going to be able to change that system that encourages this stuff.
When people learn like to utilize credit in America, I don't know if they even have credit in other countries or if it's similar to America.
They do, but America is by far the biggest credit lender in the world.
So yeah, right? Back in 2019, like nobody ever taught me like how to go about building credit properly.
Yeah.
Right? But in 2019, I had friends that was doing drop shipping automation, like Amazon automation, right? So I had a friend, they was all running stores. So she was charging $8,000 to get into this thing, but I didn't have $8,000 at the time. So I started researching credit. I asked questions from all my little rich friends on Facebook. I went on YouTube. So I did research. I went a different route. I got 3 unsecured credit cards for $1,500. I learned about authorized users. But then I think it was within 3 to 6 months I was able to get $32,000.
Okay.
And then like a year and a half later I got over $100,000.
Okay.
That was from having 0 credit. So the thing is, if people actually research credit and learn how to build it properly, it's easy to get money. And the cool thing about credit is, if you invest and you fuck up, you could just let it go to collections and speed it all up anyway.
Yeah, but you shouldn't think like that.
No, hold on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I heard. When I heard that, I was like, nah, this nigga got it the game. Like, I think a long time ago, like I told you, when I was 17, I found out there's this thing called credit card game. And I used to have it in my notes. I kind of lost it, or maybe deleted it or put it somewhere else. But there's a way to work around a credit card system. Bro, you know how many, bro, I was really locked in, generally trying to figure, I'm talking about, you know how many courses I took? Like, I didn't pay for it. There was like somebody who else had the course, and I was like, hey, bro, give me this, and I give you this. This, like, we were just leveraging stocks, leveraging this knowledge, leveraging it, and this, bro, that's not the way to look at credit, though, at all.
Hold on.
That's not how I look at
credit.
credit.
Let me finish.
There's someone that suffers at the end of that system. So.
I understand.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, though, right? Go about it the right way. Be responsible. Pay your credit, because don't f up intentionally. But what I'm saying is, it's easy to get the money to invest if you know what you're doing. Yeah. But the thing is, if you don't,
it's so sorry. Just to cut you. It's so easy to get the money that people will dig themselves in the hole because they see money.
Exactly.
What? I agree with you.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, there's a difference between good debt and bad debt.
Of course.
So I was using my debt for investments. I wasn't just buying like
credit cards though.
I was using the credit cards and then
See,
loans.
dude, that's rough, dude.
I agree with you. I agree. But
what are you investing in that makes sense?
Well, that's the thing. So I was okay. So like for example, I don't like Amazon dropshipping, right? I was making money on cashback. So the thing was, I was making money and I was paying my bill every single month. So I wasn't just buying like Beats by Dre.
But where did it go wrong? Because I mean, with respect, you're on the other side now.
It wasn't like, with my debt, I was paying my bill every single month. I've been day trading since 2014. I wasn't like broke. Even like last year, I had my biggest trading day. I made $161,000 in 3 hours. But the thing was, I was making money at passive income, and I trusted some of my rich friends, right, into a bad investment that they ended up rug pulling everybody. And I currently have a lawsuit trying to get my money back. So that's why I ended up over here. I always wanted to be on that rich side for this episode. You know what I mean, right?
I feel like your story kind of epitomizes like my worldview on this question, is that it's easier to make money now because there's so many ways of passive income. And that's kind of what I don't like about it, is passive income doesn't really benefit society. You're making money off the work of others instead of off your own work. So you're not really helping anyone except yourself.
It depends on what the passive income is. Like, what do you mean? Because there's different passive incomes, generally, man, depending on what you're doing. Like, are you talking about, like, if you don't have a hand in it type? Because I make money off YouTube. I mean, like, I put the work in. I mean, yes, I'm using other people's videos, and yes, like, there's different ways of passive income. It could be hands-on work. It could be like, yo, I'm landscaping. I'm doing this. I'm going out here. And I'm trying to, there's different types of passive income. It could be from dividends from stocks. It could be like, I'm trying to see what is he referring to, because it's different types of passive income.
We're talking about a societal trend, and you can't disprove that thesis or that premise by citing your own personal story. You have to look at actual data. And when you say it's easier to get rich now than it ever has been, who's getting rich? And if you look at the data, it's the top 1% of the population. And I just thought of some statistics which would help my point, which is to say that, you know, the largest increase in the poverty rate from one year to the next happened in 2021.
Okay, the poverty rate rose from 7.8 in 2021 to 12. Okay, the largest single year increase on record, according to Census. God dang, why can't I say that? I promise you I can read. However, the rate is still low compared to the data dating back to 1967. Poverty rates were historically low in 2020 and 2021 due to interesting.
To 2022, the majority of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. It's a very precarious life for most of us. And we live in a world where 3 Americans own more wealth than 150 million other Americans, the bottom half of the American population. Another statistic is 8 people in the entire world own all of the wealth, own more wealth and power than 90% of the bottom half of the population.
Wow.
I'm sorry, 50% of the bottom half of the population. That's from Oxfam.
Let me read this. Wait. A 2017 Oxfam International report found that the world's 8 wealthiest individuals own more wealth than the poorest half of the world. Wow. That is actually insane. I wish I had my phone next to me so I could take pictures of that. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna come back to this. This is actually crazy. Wow.
And that is 4 billion people. So 8, and this is in 2017, mind you. This is 8 people in the world own more wealth than 4 billion people.
Wow.
And, you know, I just think we live in a predatory political economy. And, yeah, sure.
So I got a 2-part question for you, right?
Sure.
Wow. First part, do you believe anybody in this half moon shaped circle is better than you?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so if we have personal experiences that we made different kinds of money, do you feel like that could potentially happen for you as well if you apply yourself properly?
I think that it's not about an individual answer to a systemic question. We're talking about institutions, okay? I'm sorry, just to you know,
he's very smart. I like him.
You know, you're talking about the housing industry, the real estate. You know how expensive it is, and well, the reason for that is
very informed. I mean, he's very informed
because the housing industry has been monopolized by pretty much one corporation, Blackstone, which bought up all the housing, all the private property, and raised all the rents. And so you have to compete.
Wait, hold on. Let's go back to that fact. Blackstone, an investment firm, owns an estimated of 0.6 of single-family housing units in the United. Wow. This is crazy. This is actually insane. Wow. So they getting stupid money. Shit, I can't even imagine what they looking like.
Good property. And raised all the rents, and so you have to compete with that now. And so yeah, that's why there is no affordable housing anymore. The homelessness has never been higher.
Wow.
You know? I want to say I agree with your worldview like completely. The reason I step forward for this question is those systems you laid out make it easier for individuals to rise. We cannot all. It's not easier for everyone to make
individuals that have already benefited from generational wealth. From every advantage that
I think there are a lot of like scammy ways that
absolutely, and I'm not saying you know if you got into
there
Bitcoin,
are a lot of like honest ways.
If you had gotten into Bitcoin in 2014, yeah, there's a lot of teenagers that are becoming millionaires, but that's such a small sliver, and it doesn't disprove. It doesn't disprove the entire thesis.
Okay,
when I hear that question, right, the hardest thing I have for me is I understand not everybody can get rich, but I truly do believe in America, everybody has the opportunity to be rich. Now, you may have come from a different background where it's harder to come up, you know what I mean?
Well, of the 2 people in question, you have had a harder time, no doubt.
Wait, because of my past, though. Wait, why not, right?
It's because of your race. It's because of the color of your skin. That is because racism is a systemic problem in America.
I don't see my skin color as a problem because at the end of the day, though, I still educated myself. I applied myself. And yes, I came up before I got scammed last year. You know what I mean? So as a black person who's at a disadvantage, and let's just say it really is a disadvantage. that never held me back from doing all the shit.
I'm not saying that you don't have your own personal, optimism for, bootstrapping yourself. I'm saying you're facing institutions that are designed to undermine your livelihood, and that is because of the color of your skin.
And I acknowledge today. I would say historically in America, certainly. I would say in 2024, 2025, when everything's coming out. I mean, again, we're all here. We're talking.
Yeah.
I've been able to make $2 million a year since I was like 28.
Mm-hmm.
There's really nothing special about me. I can spot opportunity, and I think that if what you're saying is true, and I was subject to all, I've never felt that the color of my skin is a
millions
barrier.
of other people that do
Well,
not
I'm sure.
share that.
Yeah, I'm sure. But
and that's the point of the thesis.
It's all about belief at the end of the day.
Y'all see the mindset though? Y'all see like it's all about one, acknowledge it, one, but two, it's like this I love this video. Well, I'm gonna come back. Like, this video is amazing. I might study this shit, like, genuinely. But you could tell there's two different. There's like a victimization type of mindset where, dang, this is what it is. This is what it is. This is what's happening in the world. And one, you gotta acknowledge it. There's no way you got one to acknowledge it, but two, to face it head on, to overcome those things. And if somebody is telling you, oh, but you won't do, and in a situation like that, they're not gonna tell you. Not at all. It's just gonna be, oh, he's black, the this, the that, they coming from this, we're gonna push him to the side. Okay, but if you got this mindset, bro, you're gonna go far. You might not go as far as you could have if you was white, but you can still go far. Like, that's all I'm saying. You can still go far.
Go
and
ahead.
also, remember the prompt was, it's easier today to get rich than it ever has been. There was a point where someone who looked like me wasn't even allowed to buy a house. Yeah. That's not true today. So for me, getting out of that circumstances, building wealth, same thing. Even women weren't allowed to have a bank account in their own name till like the 70s.
That's actually crazy.
In some states. That now they can, right? And I think it's easier today.
I guess for him, what is your kind of dream state then? Like, if it's not today, what period in history is the easiest?
I believe that we live in a class-based society. There are workers and there are owners, and we are defined by what we do for a living. And if you work for a living, you're in the working class. And if you accrue capital and passive income, like you all were saying, by the hard work of others, then you are a capitalist. If you own the means of production by which workers work those means of production, you are exploiting them. And that's the only way that billionaires are allowed to propagate their wealth.
Let me ask you this. Would you consider anyone with a 401k exploiting people? Because they hold stocks that are ownership of a business.
Yeah, that's also an instrument of class war.
401k is an instrument of class war.
Yeah, that's the idea that I mean, look at what BlackRock does. I mean, they're gutting workers' pensions. They're gutting your retirement funds. It's not the people that have a 401k. It's the people that are doling out these 401k plans. They are the ones that are taking away from the workers.
So the reason why I disagreed with the prompt was primarily based on something outside of finances, which was time. And so a lot of things that I heard was, oh, everyone has access to a laptop, everyone has access to a phone, it's easier than ever with online sources like drop shipping or crypto or things to get rich in today's society. But with the shrinking middle class, more and more people working paycheck to paycheck, not as many people have the time in the day to utilize those resources or even learn how to use them. For example, like I grew up with a military background, like my parents were both military. I grew up working for like Chick-fil-A and as a paintball referee. So I was working a lot of minimum wage jobs, but my parents, who were, upper middle class, gave me the opportunity to learn how to use a computer in my downtime or take a couple months off from working to be able to learn how to do social media, which is what I do now. And now I have the opportunity to make millions, and so it'd be easy for me to sit here and say, wow, it's easier than ever to make money in today's society. But if you even look outside of America as a country and at the global economy as a whole, there are so many millions and millions and millions of people who are sitting here going, what do you mean it's easier than ever to make money? I'm watching the upper 1% get richer and richer, and I'm still here struggling to pay rent and make food every day. And so that's why I was like, I don't think it's easier. Like, sure, there are opportunities and a lot of more people have the opportunity, but overall, there's a lot of inequality there that makes it more difficult than ever.
The largest transfer of wealth ever in human history has occurred in the past 40 years. $50 trillion has been basically robbed from the working class, the bottom 90% of Americans, to the top 1%. And that's another example of the disparity, the inequality, economic inequality.
Whose fault do you think that is?
it's the fault of the people that are in charge. Obviously, the people that control the economy and subsequently control the government. It's the capitalists. It's the 1%. That is their function in society, to be parasites upon the majority of the population.
There's one thing I have to just disagree on.
Sure.
As far as wealth inequality goes, there's no question. Today, it's more exacerbated than at any other time.
Yes.
There's people that have hundreds of billions of dollars, and there's people that have nothing.
Right.
So that is absolutely true.
Facts.
I think when I sort of zoom out and I look at the history of the world and the fact that we all have electricity and running water and like heat in our house if we're lucky enough to have that, I just think I can't look at a time in history where there was a better time to be alive. I mean, times are hard now for sure, and I don't want to sound condescending as someone on this side of it saying that life is easy, because I know that life can be hard and it was difficult for me growing up. But there was a time in history where you get your hand chopped off for stealing an onion. like that doesn't happen anymore. At least not in America.
I think both can be true. I think the base standard of living can be higher than it ever has been, while also it being harder than ever to escape from the place that you were born into and the kind of economy that you are a part of.
I don't think it's you have to pick either or. I think it's easy to be poor and it's easy to be rich. It's kind of
yes, that's what I agree
that's
with,
the thought. And sorry,
if it was easy to be rich.
Hey, this nigga asking everything, right? I like this nigga. This nigga is asking everything, right, boy? What?
Everybody would be rich, If everybody could be a billionaire, then there would be no
If
billionaires.
it's easy to get a six-pack, which it is, it's just consistency. Why doesn't everyone have a six-pack? I don't have a six-pack.
Here's the thing too. His analogies about the six-pack is there are people who genetically.
But okay. Yes and no. Like he was trying to say genetics. And that's more that's, how do I explain this? That is kind of hardwired in a sense. Getting rich, depending on how you're doing it, there's multiple ways of getting rich. Depending on how you're doing it, there's steps, there's connections, there's things you have to do. There's a lot that goes into being rich. And there's a lot of getting a six-pack. But it's more, how do I explain this? It's there's more of a concrete system to it. It's okay, if I eat this way, because getting a six-pack or getting muscle is really, for me, it has been easier than, and that's coming from a 20-year-old. Somebody that's 30, 40, it's not going to be as easy for them to, because their metabolism and all this, there's just difference. The body changes. So I'm 20. I'm in my, I guess this is my prime. I'm 22. So I'm going to just call this my prime. This is my prime physique wise. I have eaten more. I have put in I run 5-10 miles a week. There's just differences, and it's more of a system to it, a concrete system. To getting rich, I don't think there's a concrete, everybody can just go to school, do this, do that, and you're rich. No, it's not like that. I believe.
Do not have the ability to have a six-pack, and that's how I see it. There are people who just do not have the opportunity, do not have the resources to just be able to just make money.
I think not everyone statistically can become successful. You have to believe it, though. If you're ever going to become successful, you have to believe it.
It's a
mindset. But not everyone's going to, even the six-pack analogy, right? You have to actually believe that you can get a six-pack, even though you can't.
I think that's the part that I really agree with, which is why I stepped forward. I feel incredibly lucky to be in the West, to be specifically in America, to be in modern times. We have so much opportunity in America. I'm not saying that it's not complicated or challenging or that times aren't tough.
Yeah.
I'm just lucky to be here, and that this
you
is,
on that side.
Again, just zoom out in the West, in America. It's such an incredible time to be alive.
This is such a fallacy because, yes, of course, the United States is the greatest, most wealthy country in the world because we've robbed the entire world.
I'm not disputing that at all.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that you're not. I'm just saying
we talking that
you're
talk,
accurately
boy.
saying we have the best opportunity in the world, and I'm just saying those are ill-gotten gains.
There's no such thing as an ethical billionaire.
Me and my girlfriend talk about this.
You cannot become a billionaire without exploiting people in the process. Absolutely. So,
yeah, it's impossible to work hard enough to be a billionaire. You will have to extract the surplus labor value from other people. It's not possible to do that at all. I think the...
What did... Somebody told me something so hard. Oh, I seen it. It might have been from an RDC video. It was like before they was famous. It was like they had 2,000 subscribers, and he said, bro, what did he say? Something about somebody who says it's impossible. Something, but basically, if you believe it's not possible, then it won't be possible. Genuinely, I feel like a lot of people was like anything that we have today, right? If we was to show the people from the 1700s, the 1600s of what we have now, or to tell them what we are doing now, they would be like, this is impossible. And then we was to show them, their minds would be like blown, bro. So I don't think it's impossible. There's probably ways, but do I know them? No, because I'm in this situation, and they might know because they're in their situation. A billionaire, I don't think all the time. No, maybe if you was born into it, that you could be ethical. Cause like if you was born into billions and then somebody just to give you billions, I don't know.
The closest, we have a weird almost exception, but not really exception in modern society with celebrities, where people actually like just prop them up and do that, and they're not necessarily exploiting others themselves. And so that's like the only thing I think where it could be questionable.
Do you have an example, like a specific example of someone that's a billionaire?
No, that's my thing, is that they don't reach billionaire status, because billionaire is so insanely high.
Right.
I think you could be like 100 millionaire ethically, maybe through that specific mean, but billionaire is so astronomically high, it's impossible to get there without exploiting others. I look at someone like Taylor Swift, who I'm a huge fan of, love her, but her capitalist business practices are insane. Yeah. We're charging like $40 for little things, and we're exploiting people in all these other ways to like make these things for so cheap and do this and
you become
like
a
bundles
billionaire
and
by
stuff.
investing, you know, and you don't. It's not through hard work. Nobody becomes a billionaire through hard work. You get it through exploiting people. You know what the difference between $1 billion and $1 million is. It's about $1 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody really understands how much wealth is $1 billion, and to think that there are people in the world that have hundreds of $1 billion and they're on their way to becoming trillionaires.
I don't think there's a reason why a person needs all that money. Genuinely. You know, like just imagine if you're 100 billionaire. If you're Elon Musk with 300-400 billion, that's more people in the world, right? What do you need? And I understand Elon, you know, he got SpaceX, he got Tesla, he got this, he got that. But billion, like, I don't even understand the reason of having a home with 8 to 9, 10 bedrooms and nobody's sleeping in them. Like, it's just space. It gets tricky because though the system is crazy and messed up in many ways, we have also learned to accept it and to live with it. So how would I answer this? I don't like. That's a hard answer for me.
The disparity has never been greater, and I don't believe that there's any way you can acquire $1 billion, and without being unethical. And I've yet to hear a strong argument in the opposition.
Okay, bet. Let's see somebody's gonna give him that strong answer he's looking for.
If you're putting people in a position to where they can, I guess, provide for the life that they want and the people they care about, so they can accomplish their goals through the opportunity you provide for them, and you're able to accomplish your goal at the same time, why is that a bad thing?
When I use exploitation, I use it in a Marxist sense, where it's just the extraction. Like, you are exploiting their labor in the sense that their labor is worth a certain amount. You're not paying them what that labor is worth. If they generate $30 an hour for you and you're paying them $20, that's exploitation. If you are taking that $10 and putting it in your pocket.
But then how do you pay for the lights, like the cameras?
I think that surplus labor value, I think workers should have a say in how it's used. And that's my biggest problem, is that the workers don't have a say.
Is there a sense where we could maybe raise the minimum wage to a certain level to where it's not seen as exploitation?
The very concept of earning a wage is exploitative by design, because you could be, like he said, you could be producing.
This nigga, bro, I wish, like, he got it. I ain't gonna lie, he is on one. Like, you know what I've noticed? He knows the system, and he accepts it, but he doesn't. But he's gonna call it out every time. He's not gonna be like. But they, on the rich side, they have learned to accept it and learn how to maneuver around it. Where he has just came to accepting it. Because really, if he really wanted to get rich, he could. Generally, he has the information. He just has to apply it. But he also knows how the system works in such a way where it's so fucked up. No matter which way you try to do it, you're going to be fucking someone over. And no matter what you're doing, you're going to fuck somebody over, regardless. We're all getting messed up. Generally, that's literally his. And it's right. It's true. We all, like, if in that sentiment, we're all getting effed up over. We all earn more money from these companies, and we all should get paid more, but we don't. I get it. I see what he's saying. I get what he's saying.
Value as a worker, but you're capped.
What if you get stock in the company? So it's pretty common in the tech place
to
get restricted stock.
How does a company raise the shareholder price of their company? How do they do that?
Make more revenue.
Usually there's traditional financial metrics like revenue, but in general it's more people are buying
revenue.
By selling
goods and services.
How do they make goods?
Using human labor.
There you go.
I never saw that my life was worse off if the guy who started a restaurant paid me a wage to work in the restaurant and he made more than me. It never bothered me. If the owner of the restaurant was like,
there were slaves in the 1830s that didn't think they were being exploited as well.
Except it was my choice.
But also,
it was my choice to go get that job and earn a wage.
Yes, you can't say the system forced you to do
it. No, also the person paying you to do that was not a billionaire. A billionaire takes that to the most extreme level, where it wouldn't be taking $1 here of surplus labor value. And
what about athletes?
It's extreme greed, extreme wealth hogging to get to that level.
So I personally know many billionaires. One of my closest mentors, he used to sit 2 desks away from me. His company IPO'd. Currently, it's valued more than Lockheed Martin, Nike. It's called AppLovin. It's worth like $158 billion, right? This is the most kind, genuine person you'll ever meet. Ever since he's made money, so he like has a crazy story. He started working when he was 14.
Hey, does your mentor have any spots for extra student? Hey, I'm trying to. Hey, tap me in.
15, made a ton of money, and it was the same thing. Like my story is very similar, where it's like I started working at 15. I was paid $8K a month, and I actually loved it. Not
$8K a month, nigga. What job did you have? Nigga, $8K a month. Raggy?
Just because of the money. I knew I was making someone way more money, but it was the fact that I could learn from them. Like, learn how to get into that position.
Yeah.
And the system never bothered me in that sense, because I was like, I can be that system. I can beat that system.
If there's no such thing as an ethical billionaire, where is that limit? Can you be an ethical millionaire? Can you be an ethical 100 millionaire? Like, where is the point at which suddenly I'm now unethical?
That's a great question. I couldn't give you a number. I think $1 billion is way past it, though. I don't think it's anywhere near $1 billion. I can't give you a number, and I don't think every millionaire is an evil person. 10 millionaires an evil person.
I have a friend who's a solo founder. So he's in the tech space, and he on freak accident got really into AI super early, years ago, right? And him by himself, he's sitting with his computer, he's like in his 20s, and he codes some shit, and he creates a company, and now it's suddenly IPOs, and it's worth $1 billion. He didn't do anything. He didn't go out and say, you know what, I'm going to make this $1 billion, and I'm going to go over everybody in the process. Exactly. He's doing something that he loves, and now suddenly the world says, and the stock market specifically says, your thing is now worth $1 billion.
Yeah,
now does suddenly my friend now is an unethical person, and he has to hang himself? Like, what does he have to give away his money? Like,
yeah.
Even like where is that point?
I get that.
It's easier to make money if you're a white man.
Notice how the black people didn't stand up. Oh, not stand up, but like come to the chairs. It's easy to make money if you're a white man. don't know. Like, generally, I can't answer this because I'm not white. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if they like, I don't know. I would say no. Like, now, no. Possibly, no.
We're making a broad statement. Obviously, it's not, there are people that aren't white that make a lot of money, but I think statistically, generally speaking, it is easier to make money if you are white. It's easier to be advantaged by these institutions that govern public life if you are a white person, specifically a white male. But, you know, goes back to systemic racism. I mean, you know, the institutions are, you know, capitalism has given way to like a byproduct.
I'm trying to think. Let me think about this. It's easy to make money if you're a white man. I believe that to some extent, but not fully. So yes, I believe it, but I don't believe it completely. Like, yes, they do have a certain advantage, but how much of advantage I don't know. That's why when I thought about it, I'm like, I'm not white, so I wouldn't know what you have or what you get or what I don't even know what it is like to have. Man, I don't even know what it is like to even be white. Generally, like, me and my friends talk about a lot of times. They have showed me, like, even down to what I do, what I say, how I think, how we don't live the same life completely. Like I came from this situation. They can't relate to that. The music, even down to the music we listen to, it's not the same. I mean, you could come over to rap. I could come over to country. Like, there's so many country artists that they would put me on, tell me about. I've never heard this. They'd be like, this is a classic. I'd be like, never heard it. Like, I put them on rap. Never heard it. But, I'm trying to think. I don't even know what it's like. So, but do I think there's some advantage? Of course, you might get a little push. I've heard situations around me where somebody hasn't got hired because they're black. Like, I don't know. So I do believe that to some extent, yes.
Product of capitalism, in other words, is white supremacy. And you know, we're in the United States of America. We've had you know, this country was founded upon slavery.
Yep.
And the genocide of the Native Americans, the slavery of African Americans.
Yep.
And that was by white people.
Yeah.
I think when you look at the statistics, you see certain demographics succeeding more than other demographics, and you can either look at that and say, oh,
actually, when I really did, like, when I see my, like, Brandon, you forgetting who you is. Actually, I forgot who I was. Yes. Actually, yes. It's easy to make money if you're a white man. Because, like, you really, there's so, bro, the amount of I found out after school, there's so much they don't teach you in the school history. Bruh. I will never forget, it's the education, like, system. So I blame them. But, yeah. Bro, listen, as being white, you have had the opportunity to be put in better positions for I don't know how long. Just you've been in better positions than most colored people. And the way I look at it is, bro, they wouldn't even allow us to read. They wouldn't even want us to read. Bro, we was treated like animals. Not even worse than animals. So, yeah. To start off, y'all have a significant... Yeah. Yes. For sure. So, yeah. Even down to, like... And the reason why I'm starting down there and working my way up is because the fact is that some people, white people, have the money is just due to this, like, people working for you. So just imagine, yeah, for sure. I got
something inherent about those groups, which is just racism, Or you can look at that and say, there must be some societal factors that lead other groups to excelling more than others.
And even down to the way the hood is built, bro. Like, there's a liquor store, bro. It's so, bro. Yes, like who did I think I was? Yes, down to it's so ingrained into our lives that we have become blinded to it. But if you really got the knowledge, you really, bro, it's like they want us to. They promote it, and we promote it too, with our ignorance. But yeah, this shit terrible. Yeah, for sure, this is terrible. Like, if I really get down to it, like one time when there was a video, I got real deep. I don't even know, this video might not get posted, but I ain't really said nothing too crazy. But there was this video that I recorded a long time ago, and they made me take it down because they was talking about hate speech. I wasn't really hating. I was really giving y'all knowledge about, like, what happened. And how, like, who do you, even with drugs coming to over here, how do you think we get it? Like, just really, yes, bro.
Another point is there have been studies made on, the eligibility of people to acquire a bank loan, for instance. And statistically speaking, it's far easier to acquire a bank loan if you're a white person than a black person. And that's just one of the examples. We have it's easier to get a college education if you're white. It's easier to make money if you're educated. Most white people, have a clear, it's all about equity.
I do want to make one thing clear about my worldview, though, is that...
I'm going to join you guys.
That's okay. For sure. Is that I think on the left, the left of politics, sometimes it comes across very defeatist when we talk about this, and I never want to be like that.
Okay.
I don't want to say a person of color can't do this, can't do that, because that's also literally just racism, and people on the left do that a lot, sadly.
But the prompt
can succeed, but it might be a little harder, and that difficulty can appear in a myriad of different ways. And I just think statistics show certain groups are more successful.
I think one thing too I wanted to add that brought me out here, I don't know that it's tremendously more difficult, but it's definitely more difficult, and I think stats show that. And a big thing to me is so much of personal wealth is your home, and there's a huge racial net worth gap, and a lot of that is because of access to property ownership. And that's a big thing that I think,
and that's what I'm saying.
Stored capital creates more capital.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, we come from a society that, segregation was legal, 50, 60 years ago. I mean, that's, just two generations ago.
Think about that.
We're still feeling those reverberations.
Exactly.
And,
yes.
White people want to protect their property, their wealth, wasn't there the whole thing of white flight, in the 60s, or, as soon as society was desegregated, white people basically said, we're going to take all our capital and move out to the suburbs, and we're going to defund public institutions. We don't have any responsibility to them. And, I just think it's pretty fairly evident at this point that, systemic racism is an issue, and,
for sure,
to acquire wealth, it's far easier if you look the part.
Do you think that...
Boy, I must have lost my mind, boy. I don't know who... Boy, Brandon, boy, you gotta get yourself a neck for that, boy. Boy, what are you talking about? Yes, for sure. Man, whatever I said earlier was some bush.
Change as time goes on, though? Because I think we are for sure trending the right direction, and that's why I hesitated to come out here.
Me
but then
too.
Bringing up the points of historical wealth, and then wealth building off of historical wealth.
Y'all black niggas better get y'all ass out here, boy. I forgot who I was.
For sure. I mean, I believe anyone can absolutely succeed in America. Some people will have a harder path than others, but I believe anyone can. Sadly, I don't think everyone can. I feel like that is contradicted by capitalism, but I do think anyone can succeed despite their circumstances.
What's that? Talk to me. I want to hear their part. I want to hear their point. I'm excited for this.
Maybe back in the day, I don't really believe it, and I guess it goes up based off of personal experience. One thing that I personally hate is this whole victim mindset a lot of folks in our community especially have. I hate that with a passion. Because, like, as a black dude, how I talk, how I present myself, some people in the comments gonna talk shit. I already know. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
My whole thing is, I've had so many jobs, and we were speaking about unemployable and whatnot, right? But if you looked at my resume, it's crazy. Like, I've been a flight attendant, I've been a truck driver, I've been a perfume salesman, I've been a street performer on the Las Vegas Strip. I used to work background in porn. As a black dude who's done a whole bunch of shit, it's hard for me to think that I'm at a disadvantage when I've done more shit than the average person has.
I agree with you that everyone should have the mindset that they can succeed. I think that's something on the left that we don't communicate enough, is absolutely have the mindset that you can succeed, but that doesn't mean that these systems aren't in place.
And let's say the systems are in place, though, right? Because it was worse back in the day, but let's just say the systems currently are in place. I just think it's a belief factor. Like, if you believe, like, oh, I'm black, I can't do shit, you ain't gonna try.
The statistics.
I do believe what he's saying to it. I'm gonna switch it. If you believe that the systems are in place and, like, know that they're in place, but, bro, like, my mom just tell me, I ain't gonna tell, I don't know if my mom want me to tell what she used to tell me. It's nothing bad, but it's just like, they want you to be like this. So, overly achieve that. Like, read them books. Like, my mom, well, this one of the things, my mom used to be like, back in the day, they said, if you want to hide something from an N-word, put it in a book. Nigga, bro, that, I took that so literal. Like, I have so many books, genuinely, because what the, like, and it had, books have changed my mind, like, in so many ways, on money, on relationships, on cycle, like, just period. And I just want to say, bro, have the mindset that you can do anything, and you will do anything. Facts.
Tend to demotivate people, and then that causes lack of action. And it's like,
exactly.
It's like, for example, like, I look at everything as, like, I only look at the advantages, you know, like, I try to cut out the disadvantages that I have. Maybe I don't even have many, but it's like I hyper focus on, like, okay, what advantages do I have and how can I use them? And that actually promotes to good action and good results.
That's on an individual basis, and I would agree with you. For sure, everyone should take what they got, make it better. We're talking about society as a whole.
I just think you should take that with a grain of salt, though, right? I think, like, it's like a lot of people don't take it with a grain of salt. Like, I have friends that are like, you know, I'm gonna, like, figure it out one day, like, you know, like, it is what it is, like, you know, you're rich, like, you figured it out, like, I can't do that. Like, no. You know, like,
you gotta have the mindset that you saying we should be apathetic about our situation, but we can recognize the material conditions of our society and the institutions that, you know.
Of course.
You know,
and that's what I think I'm doing. I'm recognizing, but I'm also have his mentality where I might have disadvantages, but I'm not finna focus like super. Actually, it's important to focus on disadvantage, but also leverage the advantages that you do have, and just go. Because if you just like, oh my God, I can't win, I won't win. I know people like that, and I can't be around people like that because where I'm trying to do, where I'm trying to go, it's not healthy for me. I can't be around negative people all day. That's not for me. That's not who I want in my life. If you don't think you can do it, okay, and I'm trying to instill positivity and you still like, this is not gonna work, cool, you go over there, I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna apply what I can. Not saying even if, I might not even get it, but it's not even a possibility in my head that I won't get it because I'm focusing on getting it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you have to be tunnel vision. Like, you only see the end. You can't see nothing else. It's dark. It's dark. If you look right, you look left, it's dark. You just focus. Like, going down this one. So, like, you see this box? I'm focused. I can't get out this box. I can't get out of it. I'm stuck in this box. I'm just going straight. I can only go straight. That's it.
The way you beat that is, like, you focus on what are the advantages that you have and how can I act on those advantages.
Keeping in mind the year that we're in, unless there's something I don't know about, maybe that's true, there's no legal system that says you are prevented from this opportunity because of your race.
Yeah.
If anything, it's the opposite. We have the Civil Rights Act in 1964.
The fact that I see black people succeeding lets me know I can too, man. I might be at a disadvantage, but I'm gonna grind it out and do my damn thing so I get there too.
It's just like I'm trying to think outside of the bounds of just like this conversation where we're taking place in America, like looking at society as a whole. Like, if I went overseas, like I'm going to be at a disadvantage to making money. Like we're not talking about being rich. The Trump was making money itself. And I think overall cultures, tend to prefer their own, like, and that's just across the board. But I don't think that means that necessarily like it puts you at a disadvantage. But at the same time, there are certain advantages that I have because I'm white in America, and I'm very aware of that.
That's true.
But when it comes to like the baseline of just making money, when it comes to like being like super successful, like we can argue about systemic things that are holding people back, and we agree and disagree. But just the baseline of making money, I had to disagree on that.
Being a white straight male in the United States of America as opposed to a black queer female, what is the society set up? Who is the society set up for?
And even making it more personal, like when people are in positions of power and able to choose who they surround themselves with, they tend to go after people that look like themselves in some way, shape, or form. It's why you see like such a large like boys club at the top of like the Fortune 500 CEOs. It's why they make such a big deal about like women in places of power and women who do these things. It's because by and far across the board, it's a lot easier for the guys to be like, that's a man like me. You have a background similar.
You know what? Like I think America is such a big country that you cannot just generalize that rule all over the country. Like there, small cities, small towns with different cities, different states, everything that changes like vastly.
True.
It's a big country, but there's only two classes. There's the 1% and there's the 99%.
I am happy.
I married my college sweetheart. We've been together for 13 years. I have a healthy son and a healthy daughter. And honestly, everything else is just kind of both. Like
I love that everybody walked up, bro. Because you could be happy, rich or poor, bro. And poor is a mentality. If you feel like you're lacking, you are. Like you're lacking. If you believe that you are, you have all this abundance coming in, you do. And if you believe that your life is abundant, it is. So it's a mindset, bro. Come down to this, bro. I'm telling you.
Once you have that, the people that you love are doing okay. To me, that's ultimate happiness.
Facts.
And there's nothing there's nothing else that I want other than that. So I'm very happy.
I would have said, like, you asked me this question like a couple months ago, or like maybe a year ago, it would have been a different question. That's why I hesitated.
Yeah, it depends on who you're with. Yeah, I think that like who you're with in a very close environment is a huge factor that's going to change that. But I could say that I do live paycheck to paycheck, but I know that I do something that I absolutely love and I'm so passionate about. And
what are you?
I'm a filmmaker. This year was when I just decided to study acting, and that was truly like that's my true passion, to be honest. Like I love shooting as a hobby, but like how many people can go to work with a big fat smile on their face? True. So it's like how many people can do that? Like, dude, I know people who've been doing the same job for 30s, even though they're making an amazing paycheck. Everything, they're like financially, stable. Everything, they can go to Saint Tropez, and they just like, it's a beautiful life, right? Yeah. But he goes to work and he's like, oh my god. Like, that for me is just like, no, like, no paycheck is worth that.
Yeah, I would agree. I kind of do something I enjoy on a daily basis too. I help sort of serve the underserved and work on an investing platform that anyone can use. And I just moved to California, so there's a lot to be happy about.
Same.
Yeah.
And I teach, and I love what I do.
So. Well, and to what you're saying too, it's really the people you surround yourself with. It's something like you're the average of your best 5 friends or something along those lines. So I've got a lot of good friends and close family, and yeah.
In the United States, I think we have a lot to be happy about and thankful for. Our homes are not being bombed by the U.S. military, so that's nice. That's huge.
Don't be that.
Yeah, I think what you said I just related to so fully. Like, I am fortunate enough to have my girlfriend who I love so much. We live together, we're happy, and we have a life plan that we're working towards, where we're going to go to college and get married one day and have a wonderful family and have a wonderful life. Whether we be at the top of the pay scale or at the bottom, we're going to make it work and we're going to be happy. Because, like everyone has said here, it's about the people around you. They matter so much more than anything else.
For me, especially like, in the last year or so, and the reason I said that it would be different if you'd asked me a little bit ago, I was, working jobs that I loved, but a large part of me was committed to those jobs more than the rest of the other aspects of my life. So I was putting work over things, you know, chasing a bigger paycheck, chasing a bigger payout, chasing a bigger accolade, chasing an achievement. And even though on the outside to everyone looking in, they were all like, Kai, you've made it, you're 22, you're doing, you know, all these cool things in social media, you're traveling.
You're 22? I thought this nigga was 30. 32. Genuinely.
The world, you're working with the biggest influencers, why aren't you happy? It was because there was a part of me that had put such a pedestal, or put money on such a pedestal at a young age of seeing it as this thing that once I have money, I'll be happy. And I had denied myself happiness. I had kind of kept prolonging it further and further and said, oh, when I get to this point, I'll be happy.
That was me, bro. Genuinely. Like, I became so obsessed, bro. I'm still working on it, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm still working on, like, trying to want, and it's been working. Shout out to therapy. Like, I'm giving therapy its props. It's literally helping me like crazy. And it's calling me out on some crazy. I'll be like, yo, what? Like, when they be like, yo, you like this was happening, this is a pattern. I'll be like, what? Like, it's crazy, bro. Shout out therapy, bro. Like, real life. But I think it's so important to fall in love with life itself. Just breathing and walking and talking and hugging and kissing and waving and just, bro, life is so beautiful, bro. And shout out to Speed, bro. I'm just thinking about him at China, meeting all these people, and just to see the smile people get around him, the energy that he likes to bring. That's a good, bro. Shout out, he deserves everything that's coming towards him. He deserves everything that he's got. And it's just to see how people from two different worlds can come together. And that's one thing I love about social media, can come together and just thrive. So shout out to them.
When I get to this point, I'll be happy. And that was kind of the question I was going to ask, was like, if happiness was like more of a sliding scale, would you say that you're 70% happy, and like would money change that?
Having money is a blessing, but it also can be a curse to the wrong people sometimes, because they start asking these questions, and if they don't get answered, they kill themselves. Like, that's what happens. Because you're like, oh, I'll just keep making more. Like, I never had like a bad problem with it, but I just like really asked these questions, and when I really internalized it, I was like, what is the metric for happiness? Like, what decides if I'm happy? And I realized it came down to one simple thing. It was contentment, like satisfaction and contentment, and not just like with everything, but like if I died right now, would I be okay with it? Yeah. Like with what I've done, with the time that I've spent, like the way that I'm gonna die, right? Not just about dying right now, like, am I dying in a way that I'm proud of dying? And when I really thought about it, I like 2 years ago, I was like, oh, I'm doing this for money, and I had made this money. I was like, okay, I don't want to do it for money anymore. Like, I want to do it for something else. This is not gonna drive me anymore. And I realized, like, okay, cool. Like, I've gone to a scale where I can take care of so many others, and if I keep crushing it, I can take care of more. So that's kind of like the contentment, where it's like, oh, cool. Even if I don't ever get to take care of like millions and millions of more people, I'm in the process and pursuit of that, and I'm content with that.
I would almost say that I was happier back when I was working at Chick-fil-A and like being a paintball referee. Like, sure, there were like financial problems, but there was a part of me that didn't feel burdened down by like the weight of, supporting so many other people. Like there is that, responsibility when you become higher up in society, and you're like, have more people that report underneath you, and there's more people that rely on you for their well-being and their family's well-being and, their financial, where I do miss that part. Like, I'll sit in bed some days and be like, man, I remember when life was so simple. And so it's those things that get taken for granted that I wish I would have learned when I was younger, and that maybe would have had me push less hard to earn more, because I thought that it was going to fix my problems rather than working on fixing myself first.
Thanks.
I'm actually glad that the both of y'all spoke before I did, because I resonated with that so much, though, man. It was, when I had, like, the bulk of my money, right, I gained a shit ton of weight. I didn't have to do shit. Like, I'll just wake up to money, you know what I mean, right? I was real, like, my ex, we was living together, and she used to say all the time, like, those times when I was laying, like, I had gained a whole bunch of weight, I couldn't even see myself pee, bro. Like, it was nasty. like legit. And my ex was like, baby, you got to get out for your ass, do something. Yeah. And I was like, yo, I ain't got to, like, I don't have to do nothing. Like, we good, you know what I mean? But the whole thing was, I remember one day, my ex taught me about macronutrients, and then I was able to get in the best shape of my life. and that made me happy. Then she took us to a salsa class. I've been dancing salsa for the last 4 years. And I found purpose in that. And my happiness more so comes from the purpose, like the purpose of doing things. Yes. You know what I mean, right? So although I don't have the bread that I used to have to do, I am content because I put myself out there and I make the most out of my situation.
You're talking to
Poor video was insane. Amazing video. Shout out to everybody on this channel. Shout out to everybody that was like talking. Bunch of game, a bunch of knowledge. This is a video you gotta come back to, study, and I think the main message is, bro, rich or poor, bro, you could be happy. Don't be in the pursuit of money, because being poor, yes, it got its problem. Being rich, yes, it got its problem. Money won't solve those things. I promise you. You're just gonna solve financial things, but you gotta worry about a whole nother list of other things. So I love y'all. Stay safe, be happy, and I'll see y'all next video. We out.